Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I am so excited to be here. So this is my first official video on my channel. I'm so excited about it. So today's video, if you couldn't tell by the title, is my January wrap-up video. I feel like I'm a little late to posting this, but here we are. We're officially getting it done. We're officially getting it filmed. So yes, I have a lot of exciting videos planned for this month. But in order to post those, we obviously have to get our channel started. And with that, we have our January wrap up. So in the month of January, I read 10 books, a total of 10 books. 7 of them were off of my physical bookshelf, and 3 of them were on my Kindle Unlimited. So yeah. So basically, I'm just going to hold up the book that I read. I'll probably go over maybe like the synopsis on the back or something like that. And then for the ones that I read on my Kindle, I'm just going to pop up a little picture up here in this corner to show y'all the title that I read. So if y'all haven't read the book yet and you want to read the book, there it is. So yes. So that is today's video. I am so excited to be filming. Like I said, it is my first video. I tried to do YouTube about, oh my goodness, like 7 years ago maybe. I tried to do YouTube. I was like 14 or 15 at the time. I didn't really have like a specific thing that I was filming or like anything that I was specifically interested in. But now I'm back, and hopefully I'm gonna be stronger than I was the first time I done YouTube. I have so many video ideas. I sat up last night and I have like 2-3 months of videos planned in advance. So I am so excited. So now it's just basically coming down to me actually getting the filming done and getting the editing done, getting the thumbnails done, and just putting that content out for you guys. But like I said, I'm really excited. I'm really pumped. Yeah. So without further ado, I'm going to stop all this extra chattiness I got going on right now, and we are going to go ahead and just jump right into the video. So I can show you guys these books, and maybe you've read them, maybe you haven't, maybe you're looking for some book recommendations, and hope to gather them from here. I feel like all of the books that I read this month, they are a little bit older releases. Not like super old, but maybe like a year or two old. I don't think I have anything on my shelf over that, older than that on my shelf, but I could be wrong because I don't know the release date on every single book that's on my shelf. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video. Okay, y'all, so I just took a second to gather all of my books off my bookshelf that I'm going to show you. So yeah, let's just, like I said, let's just jump into it. So the first book that I read the last month, I was about to say this month, last month, this book I feel like truly got me kicked off on reading. So I bought my very first book January 2nd, 2024. I didn't even have a bookshelf at the time that I bought this book. Reading was not something that I'd done. I probably haven't picked up a book since high school to like read for pure enjoyment. So that's saying something, but I'm so excited. So this is the first book, like I said, I ever picked up to read. It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. This book, I think I got through in a matter of a day. Yeah. It's such a good book. It's such a quick and easy read. Like I was saying, it's just a super quick, easy read, and super easy to get through. It's only like 300, I think it's like 367 pages, something like that, so it's not super long at all. Um, but basically, this follows a character named Lily who had kind of a rough upbringing. Um, she ends up moving to, she grew up in a small suburb town in Maryland, and then after she graduates college, she ends up moving to Boston and opening up her own business. And she ends up falling in love with this neurosurgeon that she meets in Boston named Ryle. They end up getting married, and yes, that's basically just the gist of the book. It's just like a romance book. It does have deeper meanings to it, but if you have not read this book, please go read this book. This was definitely a 5-star read for me, which I feel like, if you guys hear that, that's my dog that's snoring in the background. So, excuse that. Sorry. um but yes, it's just such a super cute. It's not, I feel like cute's the wrong word to describe it, but it is a super good book, and I would recommend to read it if you have not. Like I said, this was a 5-star read for me, and I think that's just like, what luck, y'all. What luck do I get, kicking my reading journey off with a 5-star read. But yes, this is the first book that I read. I recommend this to anybody. Yeah. The second book I read is It Starts With Us. So this is actually a part of the duology. It Ends With Us was the first one. It Starts With Us, the second one. Basically, this is told in the perspective or from the point of view of Atlas, who you meet in the first book and learn that he was Lily's high school crush. But he ends up moving to Boston right before he ends up graduating high school, and he ends up joining the Navy, either the Navy or the Marines. I'm not really sure which one it was. I don't remember. But basically, at the end of It Ends With Us, Lily and Ryle end up separating. If you read the book, you'll learn why. But basically, Lily starts to rekindle the relationship she had with Atlas in this book. And you also just see, like, from the perspective of Lily, like, what it's like to co-parent with Ryle, because they do have a daughter together. Yeah, so it's such a cute book, and again, it was a super easy read, and I would recommend it to anybody. I definitely recommend reading that series together. If you want to read It Ends With Us and then stop at that, that's completely okay. You don't have to read It Starts With Us, but if you want a little bit more of that insight and perspective to the story, definitely read It Starts With Us, because it was super good. Next book I read was Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. I was on a Colleen Hoover kick. Y'all, when I first got into reading, I was on a Colleen Hoover kick. This book, oh, I love this book, y'all. This book had to do with music. Yes, there's like a whole playlist that goes along to it. And basically, I would listen to the songs as they came up in the book. Oh, it was so good. But yes, this is called Maybe Someday. So basically, I'm just going to read the synopsis on the back because I feel like I'm not doing a super good job at explaining. But yes, it says, at 22 years old, Sydney is enjoying a great life. She's in college, working a steady job, in love with her wonderful boyfriend Hunter, and rooming with her best friend Tori. But everything changes when she discovers that Hunter is cheating on her and she's forced to decide what her next move should be. Soon, Sydney finds herself captivated by her mysterious and attractive neighbor, Ridge. She can't take her eyes off him or stop listening to the passionate way he plays his guitar every evening out on his balcony. And there's something about Sydney that Ridge can't ignore either. Soon they find themselves needing each other in more ways than one, an angsty tale of friendship, betrayal, and romance. Maybe someday we'll immerse readers in Sydney's tumultuous world from the very first page. Y'all, when I say this book had me hooked from the very first sentence, let me just read this sentence for you. So, the prologue is done in Sydney's point of view, and it says, "I just punched a girl in the face." What? Like, what? Who starts a book like that? But literally, it was so good. I would definitely recommend to read this as well. I'm just a big Colleen Hoover lover, so I love all of her books. I have all of her books. But yes, I would recommend. The next book I read was actually a novella. So basically, yeah, it was a novella. It's Maybe Not by Colleen Hoover. This is a part of the Maybe Someday trilogy. This book is super, super short. It was only 120 pages. I got through it in maybe the matter of an afternoon. Yeah, it didn't take long at all to read. Yeah, I wouldn't say this is like a dire piece of the series. If you wanted to read just Maybe Someday and Maybe Now, which is the last book, that's completely okay, and you'd be okay without reading this one in between. Basically, Maybe Not is about Warren and Bridget, and basically Warren is somebody that you meet in the first one. He's a roommate that lives with Ridge, and Warren and Bridget are in this relationship, and basically this just goes more in depth into that relationship, and just basically you learn kind of how it was like, how their relationship was formed, and yeah. So like I said, this isn't like a dire, like you need to read it to be able to read the other two books, but yeah. Next book I read was Maybe Now by Colleen Hoover again. This was actually my last Colleen Hoover book that I read for the month of January. But basically this book literally picks up right where Maybe Someday left off. So when I say Maybe Not is like, it's not a dire piece to the series, I truly mean that. So again, I'm just going to read through the back really quick, because I feel like that'll obviously do a better job explaining it than me trying to ramble on and explain it, because I know what it was about, but I feel like taking things from, I don't know, I feel like it's hard for me to explain things. I don't know, y'all. I'll get better, I promise. But so it says, picking up right where Maybe Someday left off, Ridge and Sydney are in love and in awe of finally being able to be together guilt-free. As the two of them navigate what that means, Warren and Bridget's relationship is as tumultuous as ever, and Maggie grapples with her illness. Determined to live to the fullest, Maggie decides to jump out of a plane and meets Jake, a cardiologist with a penchant for tandem skydiving. While getting ready for their post-jump date, Maggie comes across an old list of things she wanted to do, maybe one of these days, and decides what better time than right now. As Maggie keeps Ridge updated on her adventures, he continues to worry about her health and safety. With every text Maggie sends, it becomes harder for Sydney to feel okay with Ridge's friendship with Maggie. But if she's going to move past this, she'll need to reconcile how she and Ridge came together with the fact that Maggie will always be in their lives somehow, or end up walking away from the man she loves so much. This long-awaited sequel to the New York Times best-selling Maybe Someday series brings back all the characters readers fell in love with in the first novel, with brand new songs by Griffin Peterson, written in collaboration with Colleen Hoover, as Rich, Sydney, Warren, Bridget, and Maggie finally embrace that maybe someday might be right now. That was a lot. That was a mouthful, y'all. But this book is so good. This book was 413 pages. Again, I swear I got through this in like a day and a half, y'all. It was so good, I couldn't put it down. So, that is it for my Colleen Hoover section of the video. Moving on, we definitely explored some different authors this month. I switched it up a little bit and stuff, so yeah. The book I read was by Lucy Score, who is probably now one of my favorite authors. I have so many favorite authors at this point. I just think they're all my favorite. I love them all. But that was Rock Bottom Girl by Lucy Score. If y'all have not read this book, please go read this book. This book is pretty long. It's about 500 pages, I think. I could be wrong. It was 494 pages, so just under 500, but it was so good, y'all. This is a small town romance. It's a small town rom-com, so it's really, really good. It's, I think, enemies to lovers, fake dating, all the good stuff. So, yes, definitely pick this book up and read it. It was so good. I'm trying to put these books back on my shelf as I'm going through them, and it's a struggle, y'all. Last book off of my physical bookshelf that I read for the month was Twisted Love by Anna Huang. So I got into this series literally at the end of January. So it is something that I'm still reading right now, but I've been loving it. So yeah, like I said, Twisted Love by Anna Huang. This book is it's the smallest book in the Twisted series. This book is only like 300 and some pages. Super short, not long at all. But so good nonetheless. If you have not read the Twisted series, pick it up and read it. I know I've said that literally about every book that I have shown, but seriously, y'all. Okay, this book is just, it's so good, y'all. These are two of my favorite characters. I feel like out of all the books I've read so far, I really like these two characters. Yeah, definitely please go read it. Anna Huang's just a really, really good writer. I like the style that she's written these in. And I like it too because it's duo POV. It's multiple POVs at a time. So, like, one chapter is written from Ava's point of view. The next chapter can be written from Alex's, which I really like when books do that because, as they say, as the saying goes, two stories have two sides. There's two sides to every story. So I really like when they do the multiple POVs because it just, you get to see that other side of the story that you may not get to see otherwise. So, yes. That was the last book I read off of my physical TBR for the month of January. The rest were books that I read on my Kindle. So, yes, like I said, I'm just going to pop up the picture up here of the books that I read on my Kindle. There's 3 of them. The first one was a novella by Tessa Bailey called Time Next Year. It was the novella that Tessa Bailey released in December, and basically it was about this, it's a hockey romance, fake dating, all that good stuff. But basically, it was about this guy that played for an amateur hockey league. He's from Canada, so his green card, his not his green card, his work visa is getting ready to expire the day after New Year's, and basically in order to stay in the country and keep playing on this hockey team, he has to marry an American so he can apply for his green card. And basically he's known the female in the book, he's known her for a few years. So basically all the teammates on this guy's hockey team convince the female to basically fake marry this guy so he can get his green card and stay and play hockey. And as they're in this fake relationship, they start catching feelings for each other, because secretly all along they had feelings for each other, just neither of them wanted to admit it. So yeah, that's that one. I feel like I was in my hockey romance period in January, because I then followed up on my Kindle reading the Vancouver Storm series by Stephanie Archer. So I read Behind the Net, which is about Jamie and, oh no, I don't remember her name. Why could I not remember her name? Y'all, that literally makes me so mad I can't remember the female's name in this book. Oh no. Y'all. Pippa was her name. So the first book follows Jamie and Pippa, and then the second book follows Pippa's sister Hazel and Jamie's best friend Rory. But anyways, those two books were really, really good. Behind the Net and The Fake Out. I love them. I really want to get physical copies of them to put on my bookshelf. But yes, and there is more to that series coming. I just don't know when. So, those were all of the books that I read in the month of January. I'm so excited. I love reading, and I just want to share it with y'all. So here we are. Yeah. Okay, y'all, so that's the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All that good YouTube stuff y'all know how to do. There's so much more exciting content to still come this month. So, yes, I will catch y'all in my next one. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, which I have linked in the description. I'm going to be posting some fun content on there. Yeah, I'm going to be posting some fun content on there. So make sure to go follow me on Instagram. And I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.